Yo, what is good, y'all? It's your boy Ty, back here with another video, another episode of Extreme Makeover My Team Edition, where I break down your squads, what improvements I see for your specific squad, what changes I would make. And since the market is kind of down today with the super packs, I'm able to kind of go crazy today in a sense and be a little bit more aggressive than normal. But if you are new to my channel and have not yet, please smash that subscribe button as we're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. If this is your first time watching Extreme Makeover My Team Edition, wondering how to get your squad in here, all you have to do is follow me on Twitter. Stay tuned. Usually it's during the weekend, usually Sunday. I put out a tweet. All you gotta do is reply to that tweet with your squad and MT amount. Tell me if you're current gen or next gen, and I will break down your squad. So this first squad here was sent in by Mr. Jonathan Isaac on Twitter. He is on next gen and has 400k to work with. So with that being said, there are a couple of adjustments that I see with his squad now. A lot of his cards are reward cards. So like you look at JoJo White, Jaylen Brown, RJ, Maurice, Lucas, and then you're looking at a guy like Blake and Wayne Embry, even Cam Reddish. So there's not much he can sell, and he only has 400k, so there's not that much MT to work with either. And so at the point guard position, I think AI and JoJo can at least hold it down on next gen. Now, if you wanted to, obviously you can make an upgrade in there, but I don't think your upgrade is going to be that great until you really make a big payment for like a Derrick Rose, for example. Now, Baron Davis is coming out soon, so I don't know if you're on the road to him or not, but I'm just gonna leave the point guard position as it is right now because I feel like there's bigger things to worry about here. So I like Blake at center better than Wayne Embry. Now, I might be alone there, but I would flip-flop those two guys, and I have my own reasonings for doing that. Now, obviously, I love Chris Bosh. He's one of my favorite pick and pop centers, especially on next gen where he doesn't have steady shooter and instead has blinders. And then I'm swapping Wayne Embry and AK. Now, the reason I'm doing this is just because I love Wayne Embry's defense, and I think he can help Chris Bosh out just a little bit because Bosh is not the best defender. And then after that, you're fine. Your reward cards are all fine here. You can obviously make upgrades as it is, but I think as far as MT is concerned, this squad is perfectly fine. If I had to make one big upgrade, I personally would get rid of one of your point guards, let's say JoJo White, and put in John Stockton. It's not that big of an upgrade, but if you put a badged out John Stockton over JoJo White, that's honestly what I would prefer. This next squad here was sent in by my guy Michael on Twitter. 1.4 million MT to work with, and he is current gen. Now, I like some of what he's got going on his squad, but there's a lot of improvements and adjustments. Now, he said he's 14 out of 15 towards Baron Davis, so we're just going to plug Baron Davis there at that point guard position because I'm fine with that. If he likes the D-Wade-Steph combination, I'm just going to let him rock with it. I personally don't love Steph with Dwayne Wade, but I'll let you rock with it. You can make some adjustments elsewhere. So the big things I see with this squad is the lack of Zion Williamson. If you're on current gen and don't run Zion Williamson, why? I'm not trying to be mean, not trying to bash, but I'm just confused as to why. So get a badged out Zion. To go along with that, get a badged out AK-47, and now your squad is starting to look a lot better. Now, Otis Birdsong, he's got to go as well. So it's a bunch of different options you could go with. You could go with Eddie Jones. You could go with a guy like Clyde Drexler, Grant Hill if you want to spend MT. And so that's where I'm going to lean towards is giving you Grant Hill because he's probably my favorite out of everybody I listed. And so after that, Dominic Wilkins, I'm just going to make your upgrade since you got the MT to do so to Paul George. And now your squad is starting to look complete. One last change. You guys all know who I'm adding here in Chris Bosh, by far my favorite auctionable center in the game. So this is the squad I personally would upgrade to once you do get that Baron Davis. This next squad we're going to look at was sent in by my guy Ivan on Twitter. It says he has 25,000 MT to work with, and he's on current gen. Also noted that most of these players aren't badged out. So that's a big thing because if these players aren't badged, that's a big deal. And I'm going to explain why here in a second. So the problem with running unbadged players is even a guy like Darren Williams isn't nearly as good if he's not badged out. So the first thing I recommend is do whatever it takes to get your Darren Williams from a badged out to, or from a non-badged out to a badged out. If your Darren Williams is badged out, that's fine. If he's not badged up, put him up for the cheapest and buy one that is badged out. You can get a Darren Williams badged out for pretty cheap. So that's the first thing I definitely recommend you doing. And then after that, we're not going to make a ton of changes. A couple of changes, and I think we can make this squad a little better. So Cliff Hagan, he's a decent card. I'm not going to sit here and lie. He's a decent card. I like him a lot better on next gen. And I think with this change, you're going to save a little bit of MT and have just as much success. If you like Scotty at the 3, just plug Gerald Wallace in there for Cliff Hagan. That's what I personally would do because I like him better as a whole, just because he's a little bit taller and can play just a little bit better in my opinion. And once you do that, I love your squad. Chris Paul, Eddie Jones, Glenn, Siakam, and Bosh. That's a perfect budget squad. Can't really make too much changes there. Darren Williams, just make sure he's badged up, and if he's badged up, that is your main primary focus, because if you get a badged up Darren Williams, this squad can really move and groove. This next squad was sent in by I Never Miss LOL on Twitter. Says he's got 50k to work with on current gen, and he's going to be getting Aaron Gordon soon. So I'm going to build you a squad for after you get Aaron Gordon, because that's coming up pretty shortly. So the big thing is here he says Monte Ellis and Jamal Crawford both have clamps. Now, I'm not a huge Jamal Crawford fan. I think there's a lot better options for their specific price, especially on current gen. And you can choose who you want to go with. Like I said, in one of the last squads, a guy like Gerald Wallace is a great option for his price. There's a ton of shooting guards that you could go with for that price range. Even Scottie Pippen is another good addition. Now, he said he's more worried about his starters than his bench, and so that's where we're really gonna focus on. If that happens, I'd move Walter Davis to the 2, and Walter Davis is fine for his current price. He's not a bad option. Glenn at the 4 is fine. I don't love Rudy Gobert, but if you've been rocking with him, he's fine at the 5. Okay. Then let's head to the bench, in which if you're running 6'1" Chris Paul, Rafer's tiny, Cliff Hagan 6'4", you're going to struggle because you've got no height anywhere. And so we're just going to make a few adjustments here to the bench. Honestly, the main thing I'm going to tell you to do is pick up a guy in Serge Ibaka, who I think is a big upgrade over Aldridge. A lot of people compare the two, but Serge is definitely better than Aldridge. And so once that happens, once you pick up Serge, I think there's a lot of different ways you can go as far as budget players are concerned. Honestly, even if you want to, this is what I would do. I might run Jonathan Isaac here at the 3, and you can definitely do that. And if you want to swap some people around, if you want to run Jonathan Isaac there, Glenn Robinson here, you can definitely try that out as well. This is actually what I probably would try out for you, because I do love Jonathan Isaac. I've even played him in a competitive setting, and he's just fine. So now that you have Gerald Wallace there on your bench, you're really looking a lot better. You got some height on your bench. The starting lineup's just a little more balanced, and this is a squad I could rock out with. This next squad here was sent in by Derek on Twitter. He says he is next gen, has 100k to work with, getting Aaron Gordon and Baron Davis as well. So here's the thing. If you have 100k to work with, by the way, the Zach LaVine is a pink diamond. It's not the emerald. There's just no pink diamond on 2K database right now. So what I see, he said he's thought about replacing Scottie Pippen with a shooter because he's got Iggy, which is fine. I mean, that's totally fine with me. If you don't rock with Scottie Pippen, you can put Iggy there, and then there's plenty of options here at the small forward position. AK is a guy, if you got 100k, who I'm gonna plug in there right now, because if you sell Scottie, you'll have enough to get AK. If you like Siakam more than Larry Nance, that's fine. Just get him out of there. Keep Siakam right there. And then honestly, you could just fill voids. So when you get a guy like Aaron Gordon, he's either gonna replace Richard Jefferson or Pascal Siakam, whoever you want. I love Sean Kemp there. Then when you get Baron Davis, you can replace him with Jamal Murray and AI. Keep things simple. Don't do too much with this squad. Your squad is fine. I absolutely love Richard Jefferson. This next squad here was sent in by my guy Darren on Twitter. Has about 250,000 MT. He is a current gen as well. So there's not a lot that I can say about a squad like this. Like, what am I supposed to say? Dwayne Wade, Cam Reddish, AK, Zion, Wayne, D Rose, JB, Iguodala, Josh Smith, and Dave Collins. There's only really one big suggestion that I can really even try to make here, and that's just the addition of one player. But outside of that, I mean, his squad's fine. I don't really love Iggy, Jaylen Brown, Josh Smith, and Dave Collins. I feel like your backups don't have enough shooting, right? Because if you look at the guys with range extender, Iggy doesn't have it, Josh Smith doesn't have it, and Dave Collins might have it, but his 3-ball isn't that consistent. So that's the only thing I see on his bench. And so what I honestly would do is get Josh Smith out of there, move AK there, and then plug in a guy like Paul George. Now, that's personally what I would do if you wanted to make your squad as good as possible. But for the time being, you're fine with holding on to Josh Smith, keeping AK there, and running your normal squad. You're absolutely fine with it. It's just if you want to maximize your squad, I would pick up PG-13. The last squad here that we are going to be going over is from my guy Mateo on Twitter. Says he's current gen 300k MT to work with. So he's got stock, Nick Anderson, Cam Reddish, Pascal Siakam, and Wayne Embry. So really what I see with this is the big thing on current gen is Nick Anderson's fine, but it's just, he's getting a little bit outdated. And the reason I say he's getting outdated is because this guy's just a lot better than him at this point in the game. I mean, he just is. The price difference isn't enough to stop you from pulling the trigger, upgrading to Gerald Wallace from Nick Anderson. Now, again, Nick Anderson's not terrible, but you said you're looking to upgrade your wings, and I think Gerald Wallace is a good start to that solution, okay? Then your bench, you got CP3, JB, Mullen, who I don't love, Jonathan Isaac, and Sean Kemp. So really, I see a very good budget squad right here. I don't love Chris Mullen, and so I think that needs to be your next kind of upgrade right there. Honestly, at the small forward position, there's a lot of different places you could go now. I personally like Scottie Pippen, so I think you could plug him in there and be just fine. There's also, you know, a good guy like Glenn Robinson that you could plug in. There's a lot of different options that you personally could go with. If you like Chris Mullen, you can keep him, but for me, I would probably look to put a guy like Scottie Pippen here. And I know I replaced him on an earlier squad because somebody didn't like him, but I personally, if you can find a badge out of Scottie Pippen, he is absolutely elite. But that is going to wrap it up for the last squad for this video today. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of our Extreme Makeover MyTEAM edition. If you didn't see your squad this week, make sure to tune in next week. Remember to reply to my tweet that I put out every single Sunday. Usually it's Sunday. This week it was Monday, for a chance to be featured in this video, guys. Drop your comments down below. Who did I miss out on? Who should I have suggested that I didn't? Help each other out also in the comments. So if you want to drop your squad below, hopefully other people in the comments or I can help you out with your squad. But guys, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys and have a blessed day.